Lesson number 106 is about linear equations and the equation of a line through a given point. The first question asks us to find the equation of the line that passes through the points 4, 2 and negative 5, negative 3. Now the equation of the line needs to be in slope-intercept format. Y equals mx plus b. And in this we know m equals the slope, which is our rise over run. And b is equal to our y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Now what we can do for a problem like this is graph out our points. Let's graph out 4, 2 first. So we've got 4 on the x and 2 on the y. Then we'll graph out our second coordinate pair, negative 5, negative 3. So negative 5 on the x, negative 3 on the y. That will leave us right here. Actually, that's going to move us 1 over. You can see I only went over negative 4 to the left. So if we go over negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the left, and down 3, that's our proper position for negative 5, negative 3. Now let's take a straight edge, and we can connect those points and extend through them to make a line. So we're going to get something that looks approximately like this. And I'm going to shift that line upwards just slightly. There we go. That crosses through the middle of the points. We can add our arrowheads, and we now have a line. In order to find the equation of the line, the first thing we need is our slope. So to find our slope, one method is going to be to figure out our rise, and our rise is how much it goes up. And how much it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, goes up 5 units, and then how much it goes over. And we can see how much it goes over. There's 2, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it goes over 9 units. So our slope m must be up 5 over 9. So what we know now is y equals 5/9 x plus b. Now in order to figure out what b is, so we have our equation in the y equals mx plus b format, where we insert our slope m and our y-intercept b, is to find out what b is. In order to do that, we can take our coordinate pairs xy or xy, substitute them in for xy to solve for b. Let's use 4, 2. 4 for x, 2 for y. It's nice to use the positive numbers when you can, or the smaller values, so your equation is a little bit easier to solve. So x is 4, we'll substitute that in for x, and y is 2. So 2 is going to equal, then we have 5/9 times 4 plus b. And if we look at this, we can see we're going to get 2 equals 5 times 4 is 20, so we get 20/9 plus b. Let's take that 2 and change it into something with a denominator of 9. Well, 2 is the same as 18/9, because 18 divided by 9 is 2. So 18/9 equals 20/9 plus b. Now in order to solve for b, we need to subtract 20/9 from both sides. So minus 20/9 and minus 20/9. 18/9 minus 20/9 must equal negative 2/9. So b is going to equal negative 2/9. Now it's tempting to circle this and call it your answer, but remember we're trying to find the equation of the line. So we need it in y equals mx plus b format. So we take our equation, y equals 5/9 x plus b, and we insert our b value of negative 2/9. So it will look like this. Y equals 5/9 x minus 2/9. And we can see if that looks about right. 5/9 for our slope. Well, it's positive and we're going uphill. That's right. We calculated and we can see our calculation. Minus 2/9 is our y-intercept. And you can see this graph, it definitely crosses between 0 and negative 1, and it looks like it's closer to 0. Negative 2/9 looks very reasonable for the line we have drawn on our graph. We've got the right equation. We've reported in slope-intercept format, and we can move on to our next question. Here we have one more. Find the equation of the line that passes through the points 4, 3 and 4, negative 3. Now, we can draw out our picture like we did in our last one, Or we can know that in our y equals mx plus b equation, m is equal to the slope. And the slope is the same thing as y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. When we look at that, that's the same as the rise over the run. Let's use this formula this time rather than our picture. So let's label everything. We're going to get x1 is 4 and y1 is 3. x2 is 4 and y2 is negative 3. We just read them from left to right to get x1, y1 and then x2, y2. So when we substitute into our equation, we're going to get m equals y2, that's negative 3, minus our y1 value of 3. Then we have x2, which is 4, minus our x1 value, which is 4. So in this one, if we look at this, we're going to have the m value is going to be equal to negative 6 over 4 minus 4. That's 0. That's undefined. We know anything divided by 0 equals undefined. So m, our slope, equals undefined. Do you remember what an undefined line looks like? Well, an undefined line, that must be a line that is vertical. When we're dividing by 0, m will be undefined. It'll be a vertical line, up and down. Now, we still need to find out what our b value would be. So, we've got the format y equals mx plus b. We know that m is 0, so we're going to get 0x plus b is equal to m, is equal to y, because 0 is our m. And we can go through, and we know that 0 times x is 0, so y equals 0x, that's 0, plus b. Y equals b. Well, what is y? If we look at this, we need to figure out what this is going to look like. If x1 is 4 and y1 is 3, x2 is 4 and y2 is negative 3, well, what must our value of our equation be? Where does this always go through on our y-axis? Let's draw out a coordinate plane. If we sketch out a coordinate plane here, we've got our values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll do that each time. We can graph our points to see where y equals b. So x1 is 4 and y1 is 3. So 4, 3, 4, and 3 will fall right here. And then 4 and negative 3, 4 and negative 3 will fall right here. We've got our vertical line, as we predicted earlier. And what we can see is that y equals b in our equation, but the value that it always goes through in this is going to be x equals 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's always going through x is equal to 4. So our equation of the line that passes through these points will be x equals 4. Now that doesn't look like it's in slope-intercept format, x equals 4, but it is, because we have an undefined slope. It never crosses through the y-axis, we can see that, and it's always going to be on the line of x is equal to 4. So that's how we'll report our answer. Our lesson practice will be on page 448. We'll practice with some more of these problems with slope-intercept format and equation of a line during our next class, and I will see you soon.